So today we're going to create a hobbed bolt for a Gregg's weight extruder, and I've already marked my bolt with some black Sharpie, and then I used electrical tape to mark right where the Sharpie starts, and I've coated the threads in electrical tape too. So we'll start by chucking this into the drill press, and let's just make sure it spins true. Alright, that looks good. I got my safety glasses, so don't worry. And so what we're going to start with is we're going to start with a triangle file, and we're going to make a groove where our black Sharpie is, and that's going to be the path that the filament will follow. And so it's easier if you start that path now and then finish it with a tap to put in the milling that you need to give it the teeth of the Hobbed bolt. So you can do this a couple ways. I've seen people do it with a electric cutoff wheel. I've seen them do it with a hacksaw blade, and I'm going to use a triangle file to accomplish the same thing. Basically, we want to create a groove there, but we don't want the groove to be too deep. And let me just show you what we're going for. Okay, so this is a Hobbed gear, that a Hobbed bolt that I've already created, and we can see that there's an indent here, and then in that indent there's teeth, and that teeth is made by a tap. So what we need to do is we need to start that groove so that we don't have to do it all with the tap itself, because it'll just take a lot longer. So that's what we're doing here with the file. So let's get to it. Fire up the drill press. And again, we just want to line it up here and draw the file across it slowly. And then we want to check it. So let's take a look and see how deep it is. Can probably be a little deeper, and a file only cuts in one direction, and the teeth get filled up fairly quickly, and that's why we keep a little pressure on it and pull it across to allow, so you can use all the teeth on the file to cut. Alright, let's take a look. Doesn't look bad. We do a couple more passes. Alright. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. Alright, we'll peel the tape off. Okay, and let's take a look. So if we can get a focus, we can see there's a nice little groove in there. It looks pretty good. We'll grab a piece of filament here, and you can see it fits in Fits in there pretty good. So we're ready to cut the threads in the hobbed bolt, and I have a jig here that I printed up. Basically, there's two bearings in it on either side, and then we just throw the bolt in with a washer, and then on the other side put a washer or two in to take up the slack, and lightly turn the nut in. So we don't want too much tension on it. We want it to be able to spin in the bearings and fairly easily. All right, so we put the jig in the chuck, and just to explain the setup, so I'm using a cheap tabletop drill press, and I have a tap chucked in the drill, and really the tap itself doesn't matter, like the specific thread doesn't matter, as long as the diameter of the tap is a little larger than your grooved area. So I think I have, and it can be metric or SAE, it doesn't matter, I've done it with both. I think this is number 6 NC, and basically what we want to do is we want to have the chuck and everything lined up so that we can push directly into the tap itself. And what should happen is when everything starts moving, the tap will start to cut threads in the groove that we put in there, and this bolt will start spinning. And the way to make sure that you get good grooves within your hobbed area is by having this running, having it run straight and steady and not letting off too many times. If the tap is spinning and it starts to slip and your bolt doesn't rotate, then you're gonna create a flat spot there, and you're not going to get a good milled surface with the teeth in it. So the whole point is for this bolt here to continue spinning. So if it stops for a long time, then it's going to ruin the teeth in that area. So and it's good to use some type of cutting oil if you have it, or some light lubricating oil. You can use pretty much anything. So I would start with throwing a little oil on there, making sure everything looks good, and then while it's running, if you start to see it get gummed up, add a little more oil into it. So let's see how this cuts, and let's make a hobbed bolt. Alright, let's take a look and see how it looks. Alright, let's take a look. So, I can see that it did cut the teeth, but it looks like they're not cut all the way into the valley, and that happens if the tap is a little too big, so it can't reach all the way into the valley. So either when we were doing the filing we filed a little too deep, or we need to probably step down to a smaller tap size. So, and that's completely doable. So we can see that there's nice teeth right there on the edges, and if we match it up, it's going to be fine for the filament. I mean, I can feel it digging in now, but I'd like to get some teeth more deeper into that valley. So let me step down to a smaller tap, and we'll take another go at it and make sure we get teeth down into the bottom. Okay, so I stepped down to a smaller tap size. I believe this is a number 3 millimeter. So let's cut the middle of that groove. Alright, let's clean it up and see what we got. Alright, and this is common too. Once you cut the Hobbed gear, sometimes it has problems clearing out of the bearing. So you just gotta be able to pull it out straight. And we're just cleaning off some of the filings here. So it's definitely catching the shop towel, so it's got some teeth on it. See if it focuses. Alright, so taking a look at it, the teeth look good, and it looks like stepping down to the smaller tap did good. Now we have tool marks, down in the valley also. And if we take a look here, you can see the filament fits in fine, and if I put pressure on it and spin back and forth, the filament moves in and out. Doesn't feel like it's slipping or anything like that, so it looks really good. Let's get this puppy installed, and we'll give it for a test spin.